Google is coming to kill you, GM. Why would you ever let Android Automotive into your vehicle? Do I think that Waymo is going to go and roll out, its own nationwide kind of taxi business? I don't think so. The bigger opportunity is to provide this self-driving technology to the OEMs, to the car manufacturers. Waymo is now an app and you can download it on iOS. Doesn't mean that you're going to be able to book a robotic self-driving car for yourself on Waymo wherever you live. Here in Manhattan, the concrete jungle, I'm definitely not being able to use Waymo. But if you're in Phoenix, now you can. And it's on iOS. It was on the Google Play Store in, I think, April of this year. Basically, this is just a sign that Waymo is getting ready to go more mainstream. Waymo had placed an order for thousands of these minivans from FCA, Fiat Chrysler. That's who they'd been partnering with. Google Waymo had to do this. By some estimates, analyst estimates, Waymo is valued at $100 billion company. Now, do I think that Waymo is going to go and roll out its own, its own nationwide kind of taxi business? I don't think so. Let's kind of look a little bit at the numbers of cars, right? So let's say your average Uber car lasts about 5 years max. A Toyota Camry costs about $30,000. And so if you divide that by 5 years, maybe you can sell that car for $5,000. If it's in decent shape at the end of that, you'll have over 200,000 miles on that car. So you've got, roughly $5,000, let's just say, of depreciation expense every year. A good rule of thumb for maintenance and accidents and all that kind of stuff is about $5,000 a year. So let's say you got about, between depreciation expense and maintenance, you got about $10,000 a year. And then obviously there's the cost of the human that needs to drive the car. But when you run all those numbers, if you got $10,000 a year divided by 52 weeks, okay, that's actually not that much money. But now you put in the cost of the driver, where if you're running that car for 40 hours a week and that person needs to make at least, hopefully, $10 or $12 an hour. So that's $400 or $500 compared to about $200 a week in just kind of maintenance and depreciation expense and these kinds of things. That is a very, right? If let's just say $700 a week is kind of the cost. $500 for the human, $200 for the machine. That's a nice split, right? So that you can see how this is a game changer for the economics of Waymo and what they could charge. Could Waymo charge 30% of what Uber is charging? Yeah, I would say so if they really wanted to get aggressive with it. Do I think Google sees Waymo as, them having a massive taxi fleet to go and, have all their own cars on their balance sheet and do this? No, I don't think so. I think the platform version of Waymo is you have your initial fleet of a few thousand cars that seeds the marketplace. And then what you do is you let other people buy cars, maintain them, and take that depreciation expense, that maintenance expense onto their own. And you give them a little bit of margin. So maybe instead of a 30% cut, you take a 40 or 50% cut on the rates from an Uber. And you give a little bit margin to the third party individual who could now own a fleet of Waymo self-driving cars. And now you kind of seed the marketplace with a few thousand cars, but now you can get 10 or 20,000 other cars, or, theoretically more, from all these third party kind of like franchisees that are buying Waymo self-driving cars, maintaining them, putting up the capital to buy them, and bam, now you have an Uber competitor at scale. I like that model. But here's the bigger opportunity for Waymo. The bigger opportunity is to provide this self-driving technology to the OEMs, to the car manufacturers, to beyond just the Fiats, the FCAs, to the other car OEMs, and now Android Automotive is what that's called. Android Automotive has done deals with GM. It's so crazy to me that they did that deal. I still don't understand why they did that deal. But I think in like 2021, GM will use Google's embedded Android Automotive OS in 2021. I don't know if there's an easier way to just concede victory. This isn't even a Trojan horse. Google's not even hiding in some wooden horse that they're bringing into your castle. It's literally wide open that Google is coming to kill you, GM. Why would you ever let Android Automotive into your vehicle? This is GM. They own, they've been doing OnStar for 10 plus years. They have really good connectivity in their cars. What's the other multi-billion-dollar thing that they bought for, which of course I'm blanking on. But they have plays with automotive and self-driving stuff. I mean, this was the last one that I would have thought that would have done a deal with Google. But so has Honda, and so has some other OEMs. So that to me is the real play, because when you look at what now Android Automotive can do, when it is now controlling the vehicle, that's way more money than ride sharing, people. That's trillions of dollars. Trillions with a T. Android Automotive is going to be able to take a cut of all the services going in and out of the connected vehicle. This is more than ride sharing. Think about renting your car on a Turo or a Getaround. Think about getting gas delivered to your car while you're at work. Think about connected insurance. Think about getting a package delivered to your trunk. Think about like on-demand maintenance and repair for your vehicle. There's so much money spent on the servicing of vehicles, trillions of dollars. All of that's now going to have to flow through Android Automotive. And what is Android and Google genius at doing? Building developer ecosystems. Yeah, they have millions of app developers that will automatically say, oh my God, I'm making all these apps that are now seamlessly connected and can get access to the car. Oh, and you don't think Android's going to take their little toll? Probably not a little toll, but they're going to take their toll on the money flowing and the services flowing in and out of that vehicle? You bet they can. And that is worth way more than $100 billion, which is what Waymo, some analyst is putting that value on it, right? But the thing that is so valuable with Waymo is they're going to bring this self-driving technology to the OEMs that can't make it on their own, which there's a bunch. Apparently GM's even signing up for it. And you thought they'd be okay. But there's a bunch of car manufacturers that don't have good self-driving technology. And now Google will say, here you go, take it. You want your self-driving technology? You want to sell more cars that can drive themselves? Great. Just, you got to put my operating system in your car. It's the most basic tactic that every platform does. It's called commoditize the complement. It's called you give away the technology for free to get access to the ecosystem. That's what Google's doing. Google's going to kill it. They'll probably still squeeze the hell out of Expedia and Booking on Google search just because they can, and because the regulators are too dumb to figure this out and actually put a coherent antitrust argument together. But what are you going to do? Well, you know, the OEMs could have done something about this if they had actually created a consortium to work together, to pool their resources together and create a unified front against Google. But they're also too stubborn to do that. So, you know, honestly, them losing out on this, that's their own fault. Hi, this is Alex from Winner Take All. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the content. Feel free to leave a comment, ask us questions, and definitely make sure to join us on our next live stream.